Hey y'all, welcome back. It is day 110 of racing my wife to 100,000 followers across all of our social media platforms. As y'all know, I work weekend shift, 312s Friday through Sunday. So Mondays, I can finally get back to work on house projects. As I was telling y'all last week, today I am planning on digging trenches all day so that I can bury a power line, water supply line, and a water waste line. So I have those all marked out, and I went out to the heavy equipment rental store to pick up this Vermeer RTX 450 trencher. I was going to get something a lot smaller than this, but this is the only one that they had that would cut a trench wider than 4 inches, which is what I needed. So I kind of had to splurge for the bigger one. It goes a lot deeper than I need, but I ended up being really glad I got the ride on because of how many rocks I had to deal with in my trenches and in my lawn. I don't think a walk behind would have done it. It was a pretty big job. Even for that giant trencher, I was still on the piece of equipment for 3 hours or more. Look out for all that in tomorrow's vlog. For now, I'm just trying to get the yard ready so I can actually work and not run over anything. I had to completely pack up the camper so I could move it out of its spot, as both of these lines will be going underneath the spot where the camper is currently sitting. My plan is to have a full service hookup for this camper and then put the camper back where it was. That way we can be a lot more comfortable in there. So I just had to spend some time getting everything out of the yard, making sure I'd have nothing in my way, as I didn't want any distractions since this was my first time ever operating a trencher. I have operated some heavy equipment before, like skid steers, Skytrax, and some mini excavators. And in a sense, all heavy equipment is the same, but you never want any distractions when you're operating something like this, period, let alone it being your first time on this specific piece of equipment. I know I've mentioned this before in other videos, but I absolutely live for projects like these, being able to go out and rent heavy equipment, strap it down to the trailer, bring it home, unload it, get the yard ready, all those things. I don't know, they just make me feel, they just make me feel a lot more accomplished and satisfied in a good long day's work than actually going to work. And that really only started when we bought a house. I didn't feel that way when we lived in our studio apartment at all. Does anybody else feel the same? Real quick POV, you're a tree that falls in the woods when no one's around. And we're back. If y'all want to see lifestyle content like this, but from my wife's perspective, make sure and go check out her channel. I do want to give her a quick shout out. Super proud of how hard she's been working. She definitely puts a lot more effort into these videos than I do, and it's really showing up for her. She just hit 12K on TikTok and 9K on Instagram today. She practically doubled her Instagram following in the last 24 hours. So go check her out if you're into that type of content. At this point, I've pretty much given up trying to catch up to her on TikTok or Instagram. I am still winning on YouTube. We'll see how long that lasts, but I don't plan on stopping making videos. So y'all stick around if you like this type of content. Thanks for watching and have a blessed night.